We are here. What's up, everybody? I'm just going over some of your comments real quick. Welcome to Fugitive TV, the live version. I have a question on a different note. Yeah, what's your question? Let me know. Maybe I can answer it for you. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'll give it a try. Finally get to catch a live. Let's go. Justice Talks with Julia's in the house. Greetings to you. Just found your channel a few weeks ago. I love what you're doing. I myself have been locked up last time 13 years ago. Thank you. What? So you were locked up for you said 13 years ago? I'm glad you're out. How much time did you do, if you mind me asking? And where at? So, can you guys help me with something? It depends on what that help is. The mom, yes. We're going to take a look at the court hearing. So I have the court hearing, and we're going to take a look at this together. And the mom gets charged today, and she finds out exactly what she got charged with. The whole world pretty much found out what she got charged with, and not just the mom, but Brad, her husband, the stepdad. We're going to take a look at that together. Can you guys help me with something? Whoa, Zodiac, what is that something? Yes, hit the like, hit the like. Welcome, Adele. Welcome, Adele. Hit that thumbs up. Welcome, Crispy. Hold on real quick. So I know I've been dropping some videos on you guys, just back to back to back to back, pretty much. Because it's been a lot happening back to back to back. And one of the videos was the Rebecca Park situation, which took off on social media, TikTok. I think I was one of the first YouTubers covering the situation, actually. Now it's on News Nation, Nancy Grace, but I think I was one of the first ones. All right, someone was parked in your car sitting behind you. If someone was parked in their car behind you, sitting in your car, and they were flashing their lights at you, and when you looked, they had a plate under their license plate. It said your time is up. What? Hold on. I'm gonna put this up here so people can read that. Your comment says if someone was parked in their car behind you, sitting in your car, and they were flashing their lights at you, and when you looked, they had a plate under their license plate and it said, your time is up. What? So it was a plate underneath the plate and it said, your time is up? Is that happened to you? You saying that happened to you? Ray, where'd you get your Marvel chair from by chance? Want to grab one for my son, Xmas. He's a huge Marvel. Actually, this was what is it? Amazon. I got this Amazon. I think maybe 2 years ago on Amazon. Yeah, Amazon 2 years ago. They should have a few of them. This one's an Iron Man chair, actually. So I believe when I looked, they had Captain Marvel, Captain America, Spider Man, and Iron Man. When I was looking, I'm a Marvel fan, so that's weird. So yeah, that happened to you. And your time is up. If you don't mind me asking, what city are you in when they flashed your lights at you? Hello, fugitive. This is my first time catching your live. I enjoy your content. Thank you so much. Voices unmuted. Thank you so much. This shouts out goes to my day ones, and then for the people who's just now been joining me, I've been growing very, very fast in like the last 5, 6 months. It's been crazy. I've been growing, so I didn't think I would grow this fast. Good morning. Oh, you from France? Voulez-vous français? Okay, all right, all right. From France. You were definitely one of the first. Yeah, when the Rebecca Park case came about, I didn't see. I think I maybe saw a couple YouTubers doing it, but like they weren't big YouTubers. Maybe like a couple hundred like subscriptions. I'm not big myself, but I think I was like the biggest channel at that time covering it. Oh, she was jealous of Rebecca. Yeah, we're going to get into that. How many of you guys know of the Rebecca Park case besides Julia in here? I know Julia knows a lot about it. Greetings from Switzerland to you. Oh, wow. The Daya. Where's the Daya at? Is that how you say it right? Is it Daya or Dudaya? Where's that at? Is that in the USA or is that out of a different country? When will your book drop? It is right there, almost finished. It's actually finished. What is going on is it's going through the editing phase now. It's going through the last chapters of the editing phase. And I want to make sure it's done right, of course, before I release it to the public. So I want to make sure everything is done right because it is my life story after all. Thanks for asking about that. Yeah, you can also email me too. My email is on a lot of my videos. It's Marcel at raymarcel.com. Marcel at raymarcel.com. Don't worry, you just got here. You ain't missed nothing yet. We just now getting started. We just now getting started. Oh, you knew about it because of me. Okay. So excited. Yeah, so Rebecca Park, as you guys know, and for those that don't know, just a small recap, real quick, was the woman who went missing while she was pregnant and she was due to give birth any day. The last person that saw her was her mother. And if you've been following me on this case, the very first video I think I put out on this, I said every person, especially a woman that goes missing, 90% of the 99 out of 10 times, the last person that saw them ends up being responsible for whatever happened to him. Almost every single case I've done, the last person that's seen that person vanish, a lot of times they're responsible, especially if it's a woman. They're responsible. Now, I'm not saying every time, but a lot of the cases I've covered. So from the get go, I say, hey, something from the mom. And then the mom started going on TikTok, social media. You guys probably seen her doing these live panels on TikTok. I have a lot of her recordings saved on my computer and phone, and she's on TikTok defending herself left and right. People are interrogating her because they know she's not telling the truth. It just went crazy. Well, Rebecca's sister ended up getting arrested, Kim. Rebecca's baby's dad ended up getting arrested, who was rich, and the baby dad is um Rebecca's mother's ex-man. So you can say in a roundabout way that Rebecca's baby dad is her ex stepdaddy. It's weird. I know. All these people are offenders, RSOs. They're on the list. Most of these people are offenders were around Rebecca. Then you have Rebecca's new stepdad, who is Brad, who's got arrested too. They just got arrested, and they had their court hearing this morning, and we all found out what they got charged with. You only saw one other person covering this. Yeah, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. You know why it wasn't a lot? You know why nobody was covering this? I'm gonna tell you why. And a lot of people don't want to hear these facts and the truth about this. It's because the situation Rebecca was in. Rebecca was an addict herself. She had addictions herself. And that doesn't mean that she should be unalive, right? It doesn't mean nothing like that should happen to her. But she was an addict herself. She came from a family who were all pretty much addicts, whatever you want to call them, offenders. And you have that mixed in a small little town of a population of like 10,000 people. And they don't have a lot of money. So I'm sorry to say, but how many times have you turned on the news and the news is covering a homeless missing person or a drug addict who went missing? They don't cover these people. They don't cover the people who a lot of times either are really broke, living in poverty, or these people who have some sort of addiction, they kind of just like, oh, well, next person. And then what they'll do is they'll cover the person who's like, they kind of put up on that pedestal, if you know what I mean. Everybody should get equal opportunity if something like that happens to them. If something like that happens to you, it shouldn't, no matter what your circumstances is or your background, you should get equal coverage. But that is why you saw the media not covering her. And it took TikTok, it took Instagram, and it took Facebook pretty much to blow this case up. And next thing you know, the media wants to cover it now. Where is the baby? That is a question a lot of us have, and that we're probably going to get to. I'm about to play the court hearing, and I want you to listen closely to the charges for the court hearing. Okay. Was the baby found? Yes, we're going to listen to the court hearing and listen closely to the charges. The charges kind of tell you without telling you. How could she not be an addict with that family? You know what? How could she not be an addict with that family? You got to deal with them people, you got to be something. You got to do something. I never was a person to be an addict, but I tell you what, I would have had a bottle of tequila every day, drinking, downing it, being around him. So I get that one. All right. So before I play the court hearing, we all know. Well, some of us know. I don't know if everybody knows. The night before Brad and Courtney got arrested, the cops actually finally went and searched the house. They searched the house. They brought out a lot of bag of evidence. They brought out all kind of stuff. They took 2 vehicles away from the property as well, too. All right. So they went in there, searched the house, got evidence, took vehicles away from the property. Rebecca's body was found not on the property line, but like they dragged her right across the property line into the national forest, actually, is what they did, and left her there. And that property was already, or that area was already searched. So they did that within the last couple of days. So a lot of the questions is that where were they hiding Rebecca before they dragged her out there? She had to be somewhere this whole time past, but that question is still up in the air. But they did search the house. They took a lot of evidence. Brad, the new stepdad, actually was seen leading police and investigators like around the property, I guess, showing them certain things. From day one, I knew Brad was going to start telling. I think they all telling everybody now, because now they're all looking at these sentences. Now they're all going to start telling. So let's get in. Let me pull up. Mm-mm-mm. And there's some charges um that are like bleeped out for YouTube reasons, like the M word and stuff like that. But if it's something that's bleeped out, I am going to stop and let you know exactly what that is in code, so you guys aren't guessing. All right. So, all right. So yeah, let's take a look at this, you guys. So once again, this is the court hearing that happened today. I believe it was 1:30 p.m. today.
All rise.
For Rebecca Park's mom.
Court in session, you may be seated.
So we finally know what they're being charged with. Finally. Now, there was a couple people in the audience that were actually from TikTok that actually helped find Rebecca, because police didn't find Rebecca. A bunch of volunteers and people from TikTok found her. And they're in court right now, watching.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I know that some of you were here this morning when we went through this, but I'm going to do it again because I know we do have more people today than what we did this afternoon than we had this morning. And that is, I'm going to go over the Michigan Court Rule 8.115, which is decorum in the courtroom. Photography and/or video recording, broadcasting, or live streaming except permitted pursuant to Administrative Order 1989-1 is prohibited.
That's Brad right there, the
In a
stepdad.
courtroom, no one may use portable electronic device to take photographs or audio or video recording, broadcasting, or live streaming unless that use is specifically allowed by the judge presiding over the courtroom. That is not allowed. Outside of the courtroom, in areas of the courthouse other than the courtrooms, no one may photograph, record, broadcast, or live stream an individual without that individual's express. Put the phone down. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Somebody got caught recording with the phone.
And what did I just say? So, violations of this rule. If the rules are violated, the presiding judge may confiscate the device for the remainder of the day or order that the phone be turned off and put away. Violations of this rule are punishable by appropriate sanctions, including up to contempt.
You look like a creep, don't he? You look like a creep. I'm in Los Angeles. There's not much coverage here. Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Person at the Missaukee County Jail, please state your name for the record.
Bradley Bartholomew.
This is the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Bradley Allen Bartholomew, case number 254995FY. We are here for an arraignment. Mr. Bartholomew, did you have the opportunity to meet with somebody from the defender's office either yesterday or today?
Yes.
I have a complaint that alleges that on or about November 3rd, 2025, in Antioch Township and/or Boone Township of Wexford County, it is alleged in count number 1 that you committed the offense of homicide, first degree premeditated. That is a felony punishable by up to life in prison without parole and DNA to be taken upon arrest. In count number 2, it's alleged that you committed the offense of homicide felony. That is a felony punishable by up to life without parole.
So felony unaliving.
And DNA to be taken upon arrest. Both of those charges involve Rebecca Park. In count number 3, it is alleged that you committed the offense of torture. That is a felony punishable by up to life or any term of years, and consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506 if the assault happened in a place of confinement.
All right, so the first 3, because the first 3, a couple of the words were blanked out because of YouTube. So the first one was felony 1, first degree unaliving. And because it was premeditated, meaning that they thought this out, they had it planned and everything else. And then the second one was felony M or felony unaliving, 2 different types of unaliving. Felony unaliving, I explained this in one of my older videos, is pretty much when you're committing a felony, you're committing a crime, but while you're committing a crime, someone passes away. So for example, let's say me and you decide to go rob this house and you want to be trigger happy and you unalive somebody in the house, but that was not our plan. And we leave. Now I get hit with a felony unaliving, even though I didn't pull the trigger or nothing like that. And let's say we go rob this house, even if let's say the homeowner, wants to pew pew you, and even though you're with me, I can still get hit with a felony unaliving, even though you're my partner, because we shouldn't have been there committing a felony in the first place. So those are 2 separate type of charges right there.
In count number 4, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit torture. That is a felony punishable by up to life and or any term of years and a $10,000 fine, and consecutive sentence may be imposed if it happened in a place of confinement. In count number 5, it's alleged that you committed the offense of assault pregnant individual intentionally causing miscarriages. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years.
That charge, it's said to commit miscarriage, or pretty much um the little one being born still. So with that charge right there, that's telling you that unfortunately the baby's no longer with us with that charge.
In count number 6, it is alleged that you
I'm gonna
committed the
wind that
offense of
back a little bit
conspiracy
because you can
punishable by life. The
hear the
sentence may
crowd
be imposed.
gasp when he says
That
that.
is a felony punishable by up to life or any term of years, and consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506 if the assault happened in a place of confinement. In count number 4, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit torture. That is a felony punishable by up to life and or any term of years and a $10,000 fine, and consecutive sentence may be imposed if it happened in a place of confinement. In count number 5, it's alleged that you committed the offense of assault pregnant individual intentionally causing miscarriages. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years. In count number 6, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit assault pregnant individual intentionally causing miscarriage or stillbirth. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years and or $10,000. In count number 7, it is alleged that you committed the offense of unlawful imprisonment. That is a felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison and or a fine of $20,000. In count number 8, it is alleged that you committed the offense of dead bodies removing without medical examiner permission. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year and or $500.
So he said one was pretty much false imprisonment. That's when you hold somebody against their will. That's what false imprisonment is. Some states you get life just for that. You get life just for holding somebody against their will. Almost like kidnapping. You can get life in a lot of states for that as well.
Additionally, the prosecution has elected to charge him without medical examiner permission. That is a
And then the other one was him moving a unalive person without a medical examiner's permission. That's what the other one was.
misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year and or $500. Additionally, the prosecution has elected to charge you as a habitual fourth offender, which means that you have at least 3 prior either attempted or completed felonies in your past. That makes those felonies punishable by more than 5 years up to life offenses.
Yes, they all gasped.
Do you understand those charges and potential penalties?
Yes.
On felony complaints, you have certain rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or write can and will be used against you. You also have the right to have an attorney present during any questioning that you consent to, and you have the right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to be
Whose family is
represented by
that?
an
Do we
attorney,
know?
and if you could not afford one would be appointed to represent you at public expense, but you may be required to pay a portion of that expense. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Today, do you plan to hire an attorney, represent yourself, or request the appointment of an attorney?
Request an appointment attorney.
The court will make a referral to the public defender's office for the appointment of an attorney.
Thank
Will
you
enter
for
a
the
not
super
guilty
sticker.
plea on your
Thank you.
behalf, and will set the matter for a preliminary examination. That's a hearing that's held here in the district court within 21 days. At that hearing, the prosecution will be required to prove 2 things. 1, probable
You're
cause that
welcome.
these crimes had occurred, and 2, probable cause that you were the person who committed the offense. If the prosecution is not able to do that, the case will be dismissed, but if they are able to do that, you'll be ordered to stand trial in circuit court. Prior to the preliminary examination, there'll be a probable cause conference, which is where your attorney and the prosecutor will get together to see if there's a way to resolve the case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Bartholomew, you met with somebody from the Community Corrections Department and gave them a mailing address, email, and a telephone number. Is that information all accurate?
Yes.
You also have the right to have a bond set. Your bond is based upon the probability of you appearing at future court appointments, the seriousness of the offense charged, and the threat that you pose to the public. Historically, counsel has shown in 01 there was a forgery, 02 in receiving and concealing, 200 to 1,000, 05 malicious destruction of property, 200 to 1,000, 06 driving the license suspended second, 06 driving the license suspended, 08 driving the license suspended, and 10 driving the license suspended second,
Dang,
10
she
driving
looks
the
sick
license
back there, don't she?
suspended, and 11 an attempted CSC 3, 11 larceny, 1,000 to 20,000. Also in 11 there's an attempted larceny in a building and a joyride, driving license suspended, and another driving license suspended. In 14, there's a failed to comply with SORA requirements. 17, failed to comply with SORA requirements as a second. In 21, operating without a license. 24, failed to comply with SORA. In 97, there was a set aside for receiving and concealing $100 or less, not shown in his CCH, but on the local record. There is an NSF check over $100 from, I believe that's 2000. The driving license suspended from 2005, there was a driving license suspended.
All these little
06,
driver's
driving
license suspended charges don't even matter anymore.
And 21 failed display of the license. I have reviewed the praxis. The praxis scores him at a risk level 4. Any comment regarding bond, Mr. Martel?
Yes, Your Honor. We, of course, respect these are extremely serious allegations. Without disputing the fact that this defendant does have a prior criminal history, obviously, even though some of those prior criminal histories are also very serious, I would ask the court to note none of those were for
Rebecca's man
these
is in
type of
jail for
allegations.
drugs. He's in
I
there.
have represented this defendant in the past, and what I would say is, to my recollection, he's always stayed in contact with the defender's office. He's always been to court when we asked him to be to court, if I recall correctly. I don't believe there ever being any flight risk concerns. He does have strong ties to the community. The address that I have, and I won't say it on the record, but it is the one that he's given us before, and I don't doubt he'd continue to have strong ties to the community. I know he's extremely low income, so I would ask the court to factor that in when setting a bond. I do realize there will almost certainly be a monetary bond if I ask the court to factor that in. I also ask the court to consider non-monetary bond conditions for public safety when deciding if it can be on the lower end of that. I don't doubt he would comply, as he's always complied, with all bond conditions. Perhaps no contact with alleged co-conspirators, GPS tether, house arrest, things of that nature. But again, I just ask the court to factor in everything that's been said so far today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carey.
So far, you guys know what the charges are, right? So we know that, unfortunately, with a couple of those charges, Becca's baby is no longer with us either because of the charge that they put. Now, when she gets up to talk about why he shouldn't have a bond, she's going to get into some details. So this is a little trigger warning for you guys. She's going to get into some details of why he should not have a bond.
The people are going to ask the court to deny bond in this matter. Under MCR 6.106B1, the court may deny pretrial release to a defendant charged with murder. He is charged with first-degree premeditated murder and felony murder, along with several other heinous crimes. In this case, we have two individuals that created a plan. They conducted research. They brought Rebecca Park to their home. They forced her into a vehicle and took her into the woods, where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they cut her out of her, ultimately causing her and the death of the baby. This is as heinous and as awful a case as it could be. And I don't believe there are any circumstances in which Mr. Bartholomew should be granted any bond. Thank you.
Thank you.
So did you guys hear that, what they did to her? He picked her up in the vehicle, and then they forced her into the other vehicle. So that makes sense of why they took both cars away when they took away evidence. They took 2 cars away. So he picked her up in one vehicle, forced her in another vehicle. Then they poked her, took her out to the woods, laid her down, and then pretty much gutted her. And that was how everybody passed. By your own family at that. Your own family. Not no strangers. Not no people you met in the bar. Not no ex-boyfriend who's wild about you. Your own mom. Your own mom. Was Rebecca's man in jail after she was... Yeah, Rebecca's man's Richard. He's in jail currently right now. He was supposed to have court today, but they delayed it. Yes, her own mom. We didn't even get to the mom being charged yet. This is just the mom's boyfriend.
The court does find, based on the probable cause affidavits that I have read, the search warrants that I have read, and what's been presented to the court today, that Mr. Bartholomew does present his hopes of a threat and a flight risk to the community. As such, he will be held without bond.
So he's being held without bond.
No problem.
I wish I knew who the people were in the front row. Like, who's who? My question is, where are these people at when Rebecca needed help? What is wrong with people? Can't trust nobody. Can't trust nobody. Now let's say this is so sad. It really is. It's so sad. Now Rebecca's mom, Courtney, is going to be appearing pretty soon. Who was it that made the comment earlier that the cameraman is he's crazy the way they did a close-up on Brad's face like that? Oh man. So the lady in the green that's the adopted mom. That's her adopted mom. I was wondering who she was. So that makes sense of probably why she can't face the court and hear everything. I get it now. Okay. They are never there when you need them. Look at Courtney.
Person at the Wexford County Jail, please state your name for the record.
Courtney Marie Bartholomew.
This is the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Courtney Marie Bartholomew, case number 25.
Look at this woman. First of all, she's supposed to be, I think, 40 years old, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's only supposed to be 40 years old. She looked like she almost 65. Oh my God. So stay off of drugs, kids.
4994 FY. We're here for an arraignment. Ms. Bartholomew, did you have the opportunity to meet with somebody from the defender's office either yesterday or today?
I did.
I have a complaint that alleges that on or about November 3rd, 2025, in Antioch Township and/or Boone Township of Wexford County, it is alleged in count number 1 that you committed the offense of homicide in the first degree premeditated on Rebecca Park. That is a felony punishable by up to life without parole and DNA to be taken upon arrest. In count number 2, it is alleged that you committed the offense of homicide felony upon Rebecca Park.
All right, so the first two charges are the exact same as Brad. Premeditated, M charge, unaliving, and then felony, unaliving. So 2 exact same charges.
Is a felony punishable by up to life without parole and DNA to be taken upon arrest. In count number 3, it is alleged that you committed the offense of torture. That is a felony punishable by up to life or any term of years.
Supposedly 40.
Consecutive
40.
sentencing may be
Looking like
imposed
that.
if it happened in a place of confinement. In count number 4, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit torture with Bradley Bartholomew. That is a felony punishable by up to life and or any term of years.
Conspiracy to commit torture on your own child. I can't even wrap my head around that.
And or $10,000. And again, consecutive sentencing may be imposed if it happened in the place of confinement. In count number 5, it is alleged that you committed the offense of assault, pregnant individual, intentionally causing miscarriage or that is a felony punishable by life and or any term of years. In count number 6, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit assault, pregnant individual, intentionally causing miscarriage That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years. In count number 7, it is alleged that you committed the offense of unlawful imprisonment. That is a felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison and/or a fine of $20,000. In count number 8, it is alleged that you committed the offense of bodies removing without medical examiner permission. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail and/or a fine of $500. Do you understand those charges and the potential penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
On felony complaints, you have certain rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you
40
say or
years
write
old.
can
This
and
woman
will
is
be
40
used
years
against
old.
you. You also have the right to be represented by an attorney during any questioning that you consent to and the right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to be represented by an attorney, and if you could not afford one will be appointed to represent you at public expense, but you may be required to repay a portion of that expense. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Today, do you plan to hire an attorney, represent yourself, or request the appointment of an attorney?
Request.
The court will make a referral to the public defender's office for the appointment of an attorney who will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf and will set the matter for a preliminary examination. That's a hearing that's held here in the district court within 21 days. At that hearing, the prosecution will be required to prove 2 things. 1, probable cause that these crimes had occurred, and 2, probable cause that you were the person who committed the offenses. If the prosecution is not able to do that, the case would be dismissed. But if they are able to do that, you'd be ordered to stand trial in circuit court. Prior to the preliminary examination, there'll be a probable cause conference. That's where your attorney and the prosecutor will get together to see if there was a way to resolve the case short of going to trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also have the right to have a bond set. Your bond is based upon the probability of you obtaining a future court appointment, the seriousness of the offense charged, and the threat that you pose to the public. Counsel, the praxis score is put at a risk level 2. In the defendant's past, I show in 15 a driving a license suspended second, 18 driving a license suspended, 19 allowing another person to operate in violation of the motor vehicle code, and 20 lying to a peace officer in a 1 to 4 year investigation, actually 2 convictions for that. In 05, a driving a license suspended that was set aside. In 05, a financial transaction device fraud withdrawal 200 to 1,000, that was set aside. In 14, there was a driving license suspended set aside. In 18, false or forged ID set aside. On the local record not shown in the CCH, there is an 03 stray dog and an unlicensed dog, 04 unlawful plate, 05 an attempt failed to record an accident, and 15 drive without a license, drive with a license expired, and 17 allowing unlicensed driver to operate.
Right? They should be
19 allowing
facing
unlicensed driver to
people
operate,
in actual courtroom.
and in
I agree
23
with you.
false report of a misdemeanor. Any comment regarding bond, Mr. Hartel?
Yes, Your Honor. We do realize these are very serious allegations, and she does, as the court did note, have a prior criminal history, nothing anywhere relatable to this. I would ask the court to factor that in when setting bond. I have had contacts with her in the past. I did represent family members of hers. I won't go into too much detail about that. But what I will say is, without giving the address on record, I am familiar that she does have strong ties to that area. She does have friends and family and support structure in the area. She also has a variety of disabilities that I won't go into too much detail just for respect of her. But she does have upcoming medical appointments, MRIs, CAT scans, things of that nature, just so the court is aware. I don't believe she's a flight risk, not only due to the fact of her ties to the community, but also due to her need to do those medical appointments. I do believe that she would obey any.
I'm sorry, but do y'all care about her medical appointments right now? Do any of y'all in the chat care about her medical appointments? That she needs to go make her medical appointments and that's why she should get bond? Do any of y'all care about that? I mean, really, I can't believe he sat there, the lawyer said this. I mean, he is a public defender. No knock on all public defenders, no knock on them. But this man literally used that as an excuse, as she needs to go see her medical doctors and treatments after what she just got charged with. He could at least said she's got one leg, because she really only got one leg. He could at least displayed, that's fact. She got one leg. She can't run nowhere. She got one leg. But nah, I'm sorry.
Non-monetary bond conditions the court placed on her if the court had concern for public safety, which we don't doubt would be appropriate in this scenario. no contact with alleged co-conspirators, house arrest, things of that nature. I do realize the court's not required to set a monetary bond, but I would ask the board to consider it, including factoring in her disability,
no.
her low income,
No.
and the fact that her prior
No.
criminal history doesn't have these type of allegations in it. Thank you.
Ms. Carey.
Not a single yeah.
Thank you. Again, the people are going to request the court deny bond in this case pursuant to MCR 6.106B1, which allows the court to deny pretrial release to a defendant charged with. She's also charged with felony,
Charged with
And
unaliving,
five
first
other,
degree, and
six
felony
other
unaliving.
counts, as the court read.
Same as Brad.
I hate
same
to
charge.
repeat it, but to create a record in this case as well, I think no bond or being held without bond is appropriate. Again, this is a case of premeditated torture. These two individuals created a plan, conducted research. Ms. Bartholomew brought Rebecca to their home. They forced her into another vehicle and took her into the woods, where they forced her to lie on the ground while they cut her baby. Ultimately caused her in the They then left Rebecca in the woods. This is frankly evil personified, and I would ask the court to hold her without bond.
Thank you. The court does find, based on what's been presented to it today, the probable cause affidavit I've read and various search warrants I've read, the defendant is both a flight risk and a threat to the community, therefore she will be held without bond. I am going to order.
Your Honor, I have a
No,
court
no, 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 no.
Oh, she got put in her place. Rebecca tried to talk. All right. One thing you guys never do this. If you ever get in trouble and you go to court and you're in there for an arraignment is not the time for you to talk or you to ask, do anything. It's really for you to listen and speak when spoken to. So judges hate when you try and talk during an arraignment, and she just got put in her place. She tried to ask some questions and he said, no, no, no to you and your doctor's appointments. No.
I'm also going to order that the defendant not have any contact with Bradley Bartholomew, and I'm going to sua sponte go back and add that requirement to his bond conditions as well. Counsel, anything for the record?
No, sir, thank you.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Wexford.
What is this? What is she? She's over here trying to get the judge's attention. She has some issues going on. Like, what is she trying to do right now? Like, literally, what are you trying to do? You just got charged with unaliving, not just your daughter, but the grandkid too, who's your grandkid, and you over here trying to get the judges for what? For what? What you trying to tell them? You got one leg? You got a doctor's appointment you got to go to? You got a CAT scan you got supposed to be going next week? Come on.
I will hold off on calling the next cases to allow the courtroom to.
I can't with this. I can't. Oh man, this is that's it for that. Yeah. That was it for that. I mean, what do you guys think? Yep, she did try and talk and she got shut the up. Julia cracking up. You cracking up, huh? Y'all follow Julie on TikTok. Yes, they did research, meaning they had to go on a computer. Now, there was a time Courtney, remember I told you guys Courtney was all over TikTok on people's panels and lives, and people were interrogating her. And Courtney did say one time on TikTok that Kimmy, who's Rebecca's sister, who's also in jail, that Kimmy was on the computer on the dark web, but she didn't know what she was looking for. Was it really Kimmy on the dark web? Was it really Kimmy on the computer, or was it you? No money and all that tatted up. Said no money and you got tats. Ain't that right? It's like a woman who gets their nails done but ain't got no food in the fridge. Oh, a man who got the brand new Jordans on his feet, and his kids got hand-me-downs. Crazy. It's crazy. He said she thinks she's in control of him too. You think she's in control? Yeah, she thinks she controlled the courtroom. And the judge had to tell her real quick, no, no, no. He said no, what, 3, 4 times? No, hold on. Wait. How many times he say no? Wait. wait. I gotta go back to this. How many times he said no? Let's see.
And, yeah,
Where was it at?
Without bond.
thank you. I am going to order.
Your Honor, I have a
No,
court
no, 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 no.
Oh, I had to go back to that. No, no. Oh, you have a great night. Oh man, said they suck. They all do. I'll be honest with you. Even the district attorney, whoever that lady was, she had she had all the smoke for Brad, but then when Rebecca got up, it was like she lost steam. It was like she lost steam and forgot what to read and what to say. It was like she forgot about it or something. When you come off mess, it's crazy. My cousin was 9:40 p.m. around the yard saying aliens are after him. Your cousin was high, huh? She got that dark web comment in. None of those people are smart enough to find the dark web. Hold up. None of those people are smart enough to find the dark web. Oh man. Oh. This lady has some serious medical and mental issues. She should never be out in the streets again. I agree. After what they said she did, I agree. You know what? I'm gonna read a couple more of these comments real quick. Said the judge is awesome. Yeah. No. Uh, um, the one thing I have a conflict on that some people don't think about is you want these people in jail, right? You want them in jail, and you want them to never see daylight. But at the same time, these people are getting free room, free clothes, free food, free almost everything, books, magazines, TV, and we paying for it. We're the ones paying for it. So every time taxes come out your check, or you got to pay the tax man in the year, it's going to be going to these two people's pockets and food. If you really think about it. So I'll be thinking about that sometimes. Like, yeah, like, what else could we do to where I ain't got to pay for these people to live anymore? You know, nothing like having a family. So I never believed in that penalty, the D penalty, until now. Some people, now, don't get me wrong, I don't wish jail on a lot of my enemies. I don't really have enemies no more. I don't wish jail. I mean, if you're doing, let's say if you're an addict and you're just hooked on substance and you can't get off. You don't need jail because jail is going to make it worse. You actually need help. You need help, right? Some things I don't think you should be sent away forever for. But then there's some things like what she did when you're taking advantage of children, when you're taking advantage of senior citizens, when you're taking advantage of women. Those three things right there is kind of where I draw the line and where it's like, mm, if you're one of those offenders and you keep offending, like Brad, I looked at his record. He's got like 3 or 4 different charges, something like that. And it wasn't just one time. So if I was in charge, sorry, you're out of here. You got to go meet your maker. I'm so sorry. Oh, you hurting children? You hurting kid? You got to meet your maker. I'm sorry. Margaret down the street, my neighbor who's 89 years old, you just took advantage of her? If you took advantage of her, who else you gonna take advantage of? You gotta go. I'm sorry. Some things I draw the line on. Said the wood chipper. Oh man, yeah. Eye for an eye. It would be cheaper to go that route. I'm just saying. It would be cheaper. And like she said earlier, I never believed in the penalty either. But some people, you just gotta go. Like look at Courtney. Look at this woman. Look at this woman. Do you honestly think they're saving her after what she did? Do you think they're saving for her after what she did? After what we just found out? That she could be, because jail is supposed to be rehabilitation. That's what it's supposed to be. That's why it's called DOC, Department of Corrections. They're supposed to correct what you did wrong. Department of Corrections is supposed to correct what you did wrong. Do you think she could be corrected? Do we even want to try to correct her? I just want you guys to take a good look at that. I didn't mean to put that, that on the screen and have you guys, vomiting in your mouth and everything. But hey, sometimes you got to face reality. Yes, passed away while the mom was being open. Unfortunately, lots of people do rugs, pharmaceuticals, and they don't hurt. You are correct. We all got a couple family members, or at least one. Almost every single one of us, probably in this chat, got a family member or a friend who's an addict or got hooked. We all got one of them in our family. We all do. I got a couple of them. They've never hurt me. They never put me in danger. They never did any of that stuff with me while I'm around, far as I know of. Now, they got their own issues and they go off and they do their own issues. Will they call you and ask you for some money every once in a while? Yeah, of course. Do you want to leave them in your house with all your valuables and your MacBooks and Airs? Probably not. You know where to draw the line. Do you want to hand them the keys to your car and need a car? No. But will you probably give them a ride somewhere? Yeah. You know where to draw the line, right? But does that mean they need to be? No, they just need help. They need help. I was reading some of the comments. I'm glad I could show you guys that video. I came on here and I was like, I was going to do a actual pre-recorded video and I was like, let me do a live so we can all watch this video together. She's disgusting, not human whatsoever. I hate her. Poor excuse for a human, jealous of her own daughter because you can't get pregnant anymore for treatment. One in the Starluck, you hit it right there on the head. I think that's how most people feel. That is how most people feel. She has other kids too. She tried to frame her. Yeah. You played it back. You couldn't hear what she said. What, Courtney, what she was trying to say to the judge? Is that what you're talking about? I don't think nobody heard. Exactly. It isn't about rugs. It's not. It's about you being plain out evil. It's a difference between being an addict and being a demon, being evil. It's a difference between being an addict or being on drugs and you just not caring about the feelings of your own child. To do something like that. That's I grew up in Los Angeles. I didn't have the best life. I grew up in Los Angeles, California. It was pretty much just me, my mom, and my little brother. And my mom didn't have a lot of money. So she tried her best to keep us out of certain areas, right? But I still would have these friends where you would leave after school and you go to the friend's house and the mom's on drugs. I remember dating this girl, Ashley. I was in seventh grade, and I never forget. Ashley's mom was addicted. She was addicted to the needle. Um, and you used to go over the house, and she'd be in the bathroom doing her thing. And Ashley was Mexican, so her mom would come out when she gets finished. She would get all high, come out the bathroom, and make enchiladas, homemade enchiladas and tacos, and feed us still. And then we go and play Nintendo or Super Nintendo or whatever. And then at a certain time, I had to get on my bike and I go home. And we knew what she was doing. We knew it, but she never treated us bad. Never treat. And you know what the funny thing is? I even knew as a kid, but because she never treated us bad, I felt it wasn't necessary for me to go out and be like, "Hey, Ashley's mom and Ashley's mom," and da, 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 da," you know. I didn't feel that was necessary. You know, unfortunately, Ashley's mom did end up passing away later on that year. Unfortunately, that's what happened with her. But every time I think about something, I think about her because she was an addict, but I didn't feel bad around her. I used to go, like I said, she used to feed us. She would make sure we was happy. We sitting there, you know. I remember her even helping with my homework. I don't know if she was high or not, but she was helping. But all I was to say is people have issues, people have personal problems. But that's no excuse for what we just heard today. No excuse. Evil individuals, yes. You know, there's another child at the house, actually. There's a 14-year-old at the house. Where's the 14-year-old? I just thought about that. There's actual 14-year-old at that house. So where's he at? I feel bad for him. I would love to hear your commentary on escape fugitive still running around in Georgia. There's an escape fugitive running around. I didn't even know that. Here, I'm gonna type my email address. Email me either an article or the name, okay? I'm gonna type my email right now. I didn't know about that. Yes, thank God they are locked up. Like I said, I want to show you guys this tonight. Oh man, and yeah, oh my God, poor child. Yeah, there's a 14-year-old. If Julia's still in here, she knows, I think, more of that because Julia followed the case really, really close on this one. Even closer than me. Um, I believe the 14-year-old kid is Brad, the stepdad who we just saw. I believe it's his kid. I don't know if it's with Courtney. I don't think it's with Courtney, but I believe that's his kid. CPS took the 14-year-old the night the parents were taken. Oh, so CPS has the 14-year-old. So he's probably going to go to foster care. Animal control took the dogs too. It's not funny, but when you can't take care of your animals and they got to get taken away, oh my God. What kind of human being are you to be 40 and 47 years? I still can't believe she's 40 years old looking like that. Oh my God, man. 40 years old looking like that. If I told y'all my age, I'm older than her. You know that? I'm older than her. That's crazy. Thanks for your diligence. I try. I try. This is my new favorite channel. Thank you. Thank you. It's Chuck's kid. Wait, hold up. Remind me, Julia. Who was Chuck? Who's Chuck, Julia? Remind me, because I forgot who Chuck was. That woman, the bio, she did interviews. Holy God. Your son is her age? What? Your son is 40? I didn't think you were even over the age of 40 by the looks of your pictures. Ray, you look so young. Thank you. Thank you. You know what that comes from? Not doing these pharmaceuticals. And not only that, I am always a happy individual. I'm always happy all the time. So like I can find ways to take negatives, turn it into positives. I can find um unsuccess. I can find success in unsuccessful events, you know. So that's kind of way I look at things. I didn't always do that, but it's the way I look at things, and I think because of that, it keeps me looking, young and keeps me feeling that way. It's all right. What'd you have to cook? You was locked up 2 years county, 3 years in Tennessee. Oh man. So you did 2 years county as well? County time is horrible. You did 2 years. Oh man. And Tennessee, were you at least in like a minimum at least? Because county time, oh, you have no freedom. What does the tattoo say on her? The one on her chest? Good question. Chuck Tidwell. So who was Chuck? So was Chuck one of Courtney's exes? 58. Wow. Hope I look just as good as you when I reach that age. Cause I would have never guessed. Yes, a good mindset will help you age gracefully. What does it say on her chest? I can't read it, what she says. Are you going to do a book signing tour? I'm going to try. There's no guarantees, but I'm going to try because the first thing I eventually what I was going to do, what I was going to try and get a publishing deal and release the book. So hold on for you guys that don't know, because it's in the last editing stage now. So for you guys that don't know, Rare Redemption, how I spent 15 years on the run and wrote this all myself too. And you know what the funny thing is? Growing up, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. So English and reading and writing was my worst language because of the learning disability. So I never thought I would be able to write a book. Never thought I would. But it's in the last editing phase now. But at first I was gonna do a publishing deal. But it is hard to get a publishing deal with a publisher. You have to go through so many things. Oh my God. It's almost like writing a whole nother book just to get a publishing deal. So I figured what I'm going to do is I'm just going to release this on my own with no deal, go independent, and then what I might try and do is hit up like some major cities. So let's say Texas, I might go Houston, I might go Dallas. If I go to Tennessee, it might be Nashville or Memphis. Things like that. Georgia, it might be Atlanta, is what I might try and do when, this is done. You sent the article. Thank you. I will be looking at that. I'm going to look at that. You did 5 years total minimum security. The county I live in, which is when I was locked up, doesn't do women. Oh, so that's why you was in. Okay, I got it. All right, all right. So for you guys that don't know, um, Kiss Me, and thank you for telling us this. Actually, thank you for telling us. It takes a lot to tell. A lot of people will flaunt. I was to jail, and some people like after a while, I got embarrassed that I went. I didn't want nobody to know. I still kind of like I don't want people to know I went to jail. But it's part of my story. But so thank you for telling me. But for some people don't know what she's talking about. She said she did 5 years total minimum security. The county I live in, which is where I was locked up, doesn't do women prison runs often. So basically, after you get sentenced, right? County jail is basically for when before you get sentenced. Most county jails, if you get a sentence over 2 years, some even 1 year, they automatically will send you to prison, right? They don't have you sitting in county jail. It just depends. So, and what will happen is in bigger places, bigger counties, let's say like LA County, California, they'll have a prison run every week, every Thursday or Friday, whatever it is. A bus will come to the jail, pick up people, and take them to prison every week on the clock. sometimes twice a week. That's how many people are getting locked up out there. But then you have small counties, how she said they don't do a lot of women prison runs. So, which means they might do a women's prison run every 3 months, every 4 months, sometimes every six, because they might not have a lot of females going to prison. And if it's just you going there, they're not going to waste their time. Bentley, yeah, Bentley is the 14-year-old. That's right. Okay. I didn't know his dad was probably Chuck. I didn't know that. Anxiety. Thank you. Thank you so much. One woman was doing 5 years in county before she went. Oh my God. That is insane. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Once it goes on Amazon, I'm going to be trusting for all you guys to try and make it to where, because eventually I want this book to turn into some sort of Netflix special, Hulu special, and I want it to be motivation and inspiration for anybody who's watching it. And that is my main goal in writing this, writing my story, is I want to inspire the next person. I can't believe that woman did 5 years county time. If please don't ever go to jail. Please don't ever go. And if you ever have or you ever do, county time is the worst time. It really is. You have no freedom. You have I mean, the food sucks no matter what, but even your commissary, everything is just horrible. It's horrible. So somebody doing county time is worse. Actually, Los Angeles, your old stomping grounds is a must. I'm there. Definitely going back for that one. Oh, so you must be out from out there. So you're from Cali. All right. All right. So Adele said, where's Adele? I just saw Adele's comment. Adele said, so you could be in county jail for months. Is that good or bad? Yeah. So, for example, we just watched Brad and Rebecca, right? So they're sitting in county jail. They're going to be sitting in county jail all the way up until they get sentenced. So it all depends on your charge. A lot of times, high profile charges like unaliving somebody, you could be fighting that for years. I've seen people in county jail fighting the charge for 5 years. But then after you get sentenced, if your sentence is a certain amount of time, let's say your sentence, let's say you spent, let's see if I can break this down easy for you. Make it real easy. Let's say you spent 1 year in county jail, right? Fighting a charge, and you get sentenced. And the judge sentenced you to 2 years. You already did 1 year. So because he sentenced you to 2 years and you only got a year left, a lot of times they'll keep you in the county. They won't even waste you going to prison because you'll be out in like 6, 7 months anyway with good time if you have that. Depends on your state that you're in. But let's say you do 1 year county, you're fighting your charge, and the judge sentenced you to 5 years. So you got 4 years to go, right? You're going to go to prison. You're going to get what is called that state number, that prison number. But you're going to sit in county jail until they pick you up to go to prison. So every county is different. Smaller counties, the run times, they call them runs, the buses, it's like once a month, once every 2 months, once every 3 months. Bigger cities, it could be once a week, sometimes multiple times a week. So time is actually worse than prison time, because in prison time you get freedom. You get a lot more freedom depending on if you're in a minimum, medium, or maximum. If you're in a minimum like she was, that's talking in the chat, a lot of minimums. You can get a TV in your cell. You can get really good commissary, more than just soup. You can actually get like cans of sausage. You can make yourself a good. Sometimes you can even get a hot plate in there to actually cook a meal. You might even have depending on where you're at, you might even have a window you can crack open to get some breeze. So it just all depends on where you're at. When you're in county, you don't get none of that. Only TV you get is the main TV in that room that everybody got to watch, fighting over. And half the time, some counties, you're not even out but only a few hours a day. So it just all depends. And if you go federal, I've never been to federal, but people that I've known that's been to federal, if you're in a federal minimum, you're living life. That's where a lot of those people got cell phones. Martha Stewart was on a golf course in federal prison. Yep. They always make an excuse not to give you rec time. Rec time is going outside. When you're doing county jail, when you're doing county jail, you have pretty much, I would say, 4 things to look forward to. When you're in regular life, like how we are now, you have so many things to look forward to. So many things: your paycheck, your kids, seeing relatives, friends, going out Friday night, a new car, getting your house. There's so many things to look forward to. But when you're in county jail period, you really only got 4 things to look forward to. One is talking to your relatives, whether it's through mail or phone. 2, commissary. Pretty much it. Commissary. That is a big thing to people in county jail. 3, I would say maybe a court date, because your court date can tell you when you're going to get released. 4, rec time. What she just said. Rec time is going outside, getting some fresh air, getting some daylight, playing some basketball, whatever you're doing. They take one of those away from you, or all of them, you ain't got nothing to look forward to. Adele said, Kissimmee, major congrats. Strength to you. Yes. Um, Kiss me if you don't mind. If you email me, I'm actually interested in hearing more about your story. If you don't mind telling me, I'm gonna put my email up here again. Because what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start doing some interviews with people who I would say have a comeback story, to where they did do time, they did get into trouble, and either they turned their life around or they're turning their life around. So I'm actually going to start doing interviews with people like that, because I feel, I'm not the only voice out here. Other people should have, a spotlight too. And people want to down everybody when they're doing something bad, but if they're doing something good, let's lift somebody up. Yes, that was Rebecca's adopted mom. We found out that was her adopted mom because none of us knew at first. It said, "You're pouring to your own nails." uh, Diddy is in federal prison. He's federal. He's probably federal minimum. I don't know what prison he is, but it's probably federal minimum, I'm thinking. He's probably got a cell phone under his pillow right now talking to somebody. They didn't even have a TV in a day room. We had cards. That's it. Did you guys have a law library? Probably not. I don't know why I asked that question. I spent all my time when I was locked up. This is why I know a lot about charges. I spent all my time in the law library every single day while people were betting and playing spades and dominoes. And I went to a law library. That's what I spent my time on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, please email me. 40 years old. She is a hot mess. You're 60 and look 20 years younger than her. Wow, we got a bunch of younger people. Yeah, okay. Younger looking people. No law library. Wow, man. Well, good for you for looking so young, Bobby. Thank you for everybody who joined us live. Cell phone under the pillow is what Diddy has. Cell phone under the pillow. Next to the baby oil. Because he's probably got that in there too. Because it is on the commissary. I wonder if they banned that from him. He already got caught breaking rules already? What was it? Was it a cell phone rule? Was it the cell phone rule? Because I'm pretty sure guards are taking cell phones. I'm pretty sure he was paying these guards to sneak cell phone. Or was it food? A lot of times it's food or the cell phone. Well, people be breaking rules, especially at that status when they got money. They either trying to get a cell phone in or they're trying to get a Big Mac in. One of the two. Diddy, you don't know what kind of Big Mac he be doing. Never mind. So that jail they are both in, Bio Mom and hubby. So far as I know, they actually got them in two different jails. Um, if you go and look back at that the recording, he reads two different jails. So Bio Mom is actually in the same jail that Bio half sister is in, and the baby daddy. So Rebecca's baby daddy is in. Those three are in the same jail, but they have Brad in a whole different county. Brad's in a whole different county. Now, Brad was also showing when Courtney got arrested, Brad was also showing investigators around the property at evidence and all that type of stuff. I'm thinking Brad from the get-go started snitching. I think Brad starts snitching, start telling. Usually when somebody's telling, if he's going to be a witness to the other person, they'll have them separate. And that county jail so small, they probably have to put him in a different county because they probably ain't got enough protective custody pods to hold him in. So I'm thinking he started snitching. That's probably why they know a lot that they know, as in like was in two separate cars and you know things like that. So y'all are funny. Just Andrea said, I love that this community is open enough to speak on their experiences and that it seems to be a non judgment zone over here. Yes, Fugitive TV, here we're all about not judging. I think I broke down my 3 rules earlier. I said, as long as you ain't taking advantage of little ones, as in children, you ain't taking advantage of women, and you're not taking advantage of senior citizens. Those are my 3 things, okay? Those three things you doing? Yeah, you got. Nah, sorry, I don't want to talk to you. But besides that, everybody has a past. Everybody's done something. A lot of people have done something and just didn't get caught. That's just a fact. Everybody's done something, but just didn't get caught. Oh, the homemade drink. Yeah, I did hear Diddy had the homemade drink. I forgot about that. You have a great day at work. I'm sorry you got to get up at 3:30 in the morning. Woo, that's county time. You waking up, ain't it? But you have a great day at work. Thank you, and make sure you email me, okay? Take care of yourself. Good people here. Yes. I try and keep it that way. I try and keep good people in here. I got another video coming I think tomorrow on the pre-recorded is gonna be on the Stockton situation, the birthday party. I already did one video on that. And this other video is gonna be more on the corruption, or I should say why these gangs are running wild in that city. How it kinda how it started. So just to let you guys know, I'm gonna try and get that uploaded by tomorrow night. Because the media is telling us, about the birthday party and what happened and the massacre and all that stuff. But the problem is they're not telling us the root of everything. They're not telling us the root of why it starts, how it starts, the root of the issues that's in the city itself. And by the way, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. I hope you guys' Thanksgiving was great. Glad to see you're on here. I keep looking over at my other screen and I got Courtney looking at me. I got to take her off. I can't look at her any much longer. She got to go. Somebody gonna walk in and be like, "What's wrong with you, bro? This is your fetish?" All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great evening. Like I said, I'm gonna upload a video tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining, watching the arraignment video with me, with Rebecca, and I'm sorry, with Courtney and Brad, these two disgusting individuals. I did. She is deleted. She is deleted. I did not want to get caught with her on the screen. No, no, no. Somebody put me on blast on YouTube. Y'all know Fugitive TV likes? No, not me. But please, everybody take care of one another. Stay safe. All these stories I give you, I know a lot of them sound bad, but hopefully you learn from them. You learn to watch your surroundings. You learn to trust, certain people. You learn to the people you have close to keep them closer, and hopefully learn how to take care of yourself and the ones that you love. This is Fugitive TV. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. I'm out.